The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting of June 22nd, 2026. We'll call it to order. First, no presentations tonight. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Dubowski, second by Councillor Mouse. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Original Communications Delegations, GFL CART Report, May 2026. We have a motion to accept. Sorry. Pass through. Could we get a motion to adopt the minutes of June 8th, 2026? Councillor Verova, Councillor Johnson. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. I must have had too much coffee. Starting to skip stuff. GFL report, May 2026. Could we have a motion to accept the GFL report? Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Dubowski. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Appointment of Secretary to the COE Development Appeal Board, Ms. Hannah Boat, replacing Ms. Melanie Naylor. We have a motion to accept Hannah's. Councillor Waleser, seconded by Councillor Elliott. Any questions, comments out there? Seeing none? All in favor? Hannah is appointed. Street closure application, 700 block of Arthur Avenue, Mr. Andrew Michalski. Sounds like they want to have a block party this coming weekend. We have a motion to accept this. Councillor Leeser, second by Councillor Mouse. Questions, comments? Councillor Leeser.
Thank you, Your Worship. If we can include in our correspondence a reminder of the block party package that the City of Estevan has available for rent. Just as a reminder to the community, this is available for anybody to sign out so they can get to know their neighbors. It includes activities for adults and kids.
Excellent. Good old block party coming up, 700 block. Oh, do we vote on it? Councillor Verova.
I just wanted to clarify, when we use the word rent, we mean free. Yeah, perfect.
Sounds good. Any other questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Arthur Street is having a block party. Up next, City of Estevan flag and proclamation policy. Mr. Doug Reitz, step up to the microphone, turn her on there, please, and the floor is yours for 10 minutes.
Okay, I just got a question and a request in regards to your policy on flag proclamation policy that you have here. And I'm going to give a couple of examples here, and I want to make sure that the council understands that I'm neither endorsing nor condemning either example, but I'm using them as an example, okay? A while back, the local pro-life organization requested to raise a flag during May because it's pro-life month. Okay, it was denied because of religious and political reasoning. Okay, however, yesterday another organization raised a flag, and from my understanding of your rules there, when it says flag raising or proclamation requests will not be approved and if you go through there, pretty much any special interest group could be denied. The one from yesterday, well, you know, it causes divisiveness in the community, contentions. It's even has evidence of, in other communities, obscene behavior, you know, this kind of thing. So, but that's just that particular one that I'm using as an example. Now, if you're going to have this flag raising policy, my question is why are you not having equal ways of determining who gets it and who doesn't get it? That's my question. My recommendation or request is, I believe that in a community like this, there should be no special interest flags raised. It should be the city flag, the provincial flag, the federal flag. That's it. But, you know, if you're going to, why are we not using the same criteria? Because the group that raised the flag yesterday, very political. You know, our prime minister raised the flag for them. If that's not politics, I don't know what is. But, you know, these are the things that I'm concerned about, is when you're using your own policy, but you're interpreting the rules different for different groups. And so the way to avoid that is, as I said, no special interest group flags be raised in this community.
Yeah, that could be something. I don't actually remember the pro-life flag being denied or even requested. Councillor Verova?
I believe it was the pro-life benches you're referring to, when it was the pro-life benches, I believe, that
Well,
you're referring to.
that's another issue, but I believe at some point in the past, I'm not sure, I tried to investigate and get some
Yeah.
exact.
I've been on council since 2016, and there has
Yeah.
not, to my knowledge, been a
So,
request for the
but-
pro-life flag, but there was a request
Yeah.
a few years back for the pro-life benches, and that was brought to council, and you're right, it was denied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, again, it's flag raising benches, whatever you want to do. Any special interest stuff is what I'm, basically, the way you're interpreting your own regulations here is, you know, this one's okay, even though you can pick any one of these and say, it doesn't meet those.
Yeah.
So, make it simple. No special interest recognition. If they want to have recognition, do it in private property.
Okay, we'll have to take that as a recommendation, and like, I agree, like, there's a policy in place in whichever group, I do believe that has came forward, that has followed the policy. I don't think anybody's been denied that followed the policy. Again, don't hold me to that, but I tried to find out, you know, I tried to look into that a little bit.
Yeah.
And the ones that have been denied that I could find of were the ones that didn't follow the policy. They didn't come and, you know, represent their group or what have you, right? So the only other flag I can think of is the racism flag, which would have been a couple months ago, where there was a student that made their own flag, and again, they kind of followed the policy, but I don't think we've denied anything that has followed the policy to date. So, but I do hear, you know, your words of, you know, of no special group policies. You may start to see that more and more. I do believe it's been in the news in some other towns, but
Yeah.
as it stands right now, that's our policy. And like I said, as long as it really doesn't matter what the group is, the way I look at it is if the policy, all the rules are followed and they're in their request, I don't see how council can deny it, but that's,
But in
up for
your list here,
interpretation.
you know, many of these items in the list could have been used to deny the flag raising yesterday.
yeah, okay. Councilor Verba?
Yeah, and I think there might have been one group, but they also, when they came, again, may have not have been following the policy. And so I think it's great that you came today and expressed your feelings, and, you know, as long as we're following the policy. But I think at the end of the day, it is the discretion of council to
Right.
interpret the policy. So, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I understand it's, you know, it's up to council to interpret policy, but I've served on municipal council in the past, and I know for a fact that when one member of policy promotes an issue, oftentimes another member of policy of council that doesn't necessarily agree with it, but they may have an issue that they want support with, so they automatically, they will support it. They question it, but they will support the first councillor just so that they can get equal time, and that's politics. You know, that's what it's all about, and so, you know.
Okay, so Councilor Leeser?
Thank you for coming in today. And certainly, I welcome the conversation each time. I think it is important to look at the merits of each request. There are communities that have moved away from the community flagpole, but I think that denies some really valuable opportunities for groups in our community, like the United Way, like the anti-racism flag that was recently flown. With this specific request, when I interpreted the policy, inclusion of everyone, regardless of their gender identity, is a policy of the City of Estevan. It does follow the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The purpose of the day is celebration, inclusion, and joy, so it does not espouse hatred, violence, or racism. The group is not attached to one specific political ideology. People who identify as members of this community fall across all parts of the religious and political spectrum. I do think it could be interpreted as controversial, contentious, or divisive within our community, but as community leaders, it's important for us to see those people who have historically been marginalized, to identify those people in our community who still experience increased violence and decreased access to healthcare resources, and to support them in an equity opportunity. And there was nothing untruthful, inflammatory, or obscene about their request, and that's why I was in support of it.
Well, the only reason I use the obscene one is simply because of groups. This group has had parades in other cities where nudity or semi-nudity was embraced and was promoted, or at least was not denied, and then the police didn't even exercise their responsibility of arresting for indecent exposure. So again, political. They obviously had words from their bosses saying, we don't do anything. So because of what the group represents, that's my reason why I'm saying that let's have no special interest groups, simply because if you want to get really picky on any one of these, you could pick a reason to deny it just from your own policy.
Okay. Any other questions, comments out there? Well, seeing none, I think, yeah, we can just kind of, like I said, thank you for coming in. Good discussion. Well, like I said, it's kind of just the way it's stated. As long as the policies are followed, yes, council does have that choice of deciding. But again, I don't think that anybody that's followed the policy to this date, I don't think has been denied. So we'll just kind of go with that. So.
Okay, I appreciate you giving me your time, and I just wanted to express my opinion. Thank you.
Awesome. That's good that we can still do that in this day and age. So thank you for that.
Okay.
Motion just accept for information.
Think so? No. Up next, Estevan Diversified Services, equipment rental fees. So we're having another party, or no, we're having a garage sale. We need some tables from the city. There's kind of an outstanding invoice, and we're just looking to look at that for a donation, I guess. So, do we have a motion to accept? Councillor Elliott.
I would actually, I'm about as stingy as I get on council. This is like, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the signals.
You have to start over.
Yeah, well, I was saying I'm kind of the stingy, or possibly the stingiest. But with this group, with their issues with funding that they've been having, and with the amazing work that they do with handicapped youth and adults, and it's just tables, and I'm guessing they're not asking us to deliver them or go pick them up and take them back. I'm pretty sure they'd be sending a truck over with some big burly men. Thank you, Roberta, for the nods and the shakes. And so like it's zero labor for us. It's tables that, I don't know if you've ever been to one of their things in the past, but when they're done, when they're cleaning up, everything is spotless. It'll be coming back in perfect shape, so I would move that we accept this request.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Verova. Any other questions, comments out there? Councillor Verova?
Yeah, I second the motion because I agree. Great organization that we can support. But I would just like to also let them know that they're accepted to get, if it passes tonight, that please put in the request before the third-party grants in October so that we can put that into next year's budget, because that's what we've been talking about, is any and all donations that we do throughout the year we need to make sure is in the budget. This is one of those items, as Councillor Elliott pointed out, it doesn't actually cost the city money, but it does, because if we give them away and someone wants to rent them that day, they're not there. If we donate them somewhere and they're used too often in donations, then we have to replace them. which I would recommend we replace some of our chairs at one day in the budget, but that's another topic. So just because of all of those items need to be replaced and they have a lifespan on them, yeah, if we could just also include City Clerk message to Diversified Services to please have the request in prior to October of 2026 for 2027.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Councillor Leeser.
Thank you. I would like to inquire if this is the nonprofit rate, or is there a discount that's typically extended to community groups?
One rate.
Thank you for clarifying. There is one rate.
Okay. Any other questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? They have their tables. Up next, written reports, Estevan Arts Council. We have a motion to accept Estevan Arts Council. Councillor Dubowski, seconded by Councillor Mouse. Any questions, comments out there? Seeing Councillor Leeser?
Thank you, Your Worship. I would just like to draw the community's attention to the new interactive map that the Estevan Arts Council has worked so hard on. Despite living in Estevan, I think all of us probably have a few on the list that we haven't seen before. And to see that there are 60 works of art throughout the entire community is quite impressive. And their map not only shows you where they are, but gives you information about the artist as well.
I seen one behind the TD Bank I haven't noticed before, and somebody told me it's been there for a long time. I felt a little guilty about that, so thank you for that. Any more questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Executive reports, Transportation Management Division, Pine Avenue Sidewalk. Oh, Haley's stepping up to the mic. A couple... I don't know if I want to go over the whole thing, but over on Pine Avenue, kind of in the cul-de-sac over there, we're looking at extending a sidewalk. We kind of have a couple of options, Pine Avenue to the back alley, or extend it all the way to Henry Street. They're kind of the two options we're looking at over there. Option one is $15,800, and option two is $15,000. So, do we? Would you like to fill us in on anything that?
There was a sidewalk put in on Pine. There was a sidewalk put in on Pine last year or the year before that goes from those residents' place to King Street. So now if we just extend it and go the other way, north on Pine, is what they're requesting.
Okay. We have a motion out there. Councillor Veroba.
I would like to make the motion to just do option one to the back alley for this time. And the reason for that is because going to the other right to Pine actually goes on somebody's property. And I feel like I would like to have their input into that if they're interested in doing that. I mean, I live in that area. I'm just a couple streets over. I don't see a lot of traffic going that way. It is the seniors that go. So I just hate to not destroy, to add a sidewalk to somebody's yard if they're adamant they don't want it and we don't actually have a lot of traffic. But again, there could be a lot more traffic because it would also make sense to go all the way to Pine, but I don't think it adds to the project if we wait and get some feedback and do that next year possibly.
Okay. Do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Johnson, any other questions, comments out there? Councillor Mouse?
I would actually prefer option two for the simple reason that next year it's going to cost more. If we do half now and half next year, it's going to cost probably more just due to inflation. And it seems like sort of 6 of 1, it's sort of like a half a solution. And I understand it goes through one person's yard, through their right of way in the front and through the driveway, but it's sort of like all of a sudden it just stops again, and there's a lot of that. I think it'd be nice if we did it all at once. And I have a feeling it's going to cost not just the additional $14,000, but it would cost actually more next year to do that, just because we're starting again, even if we have to get permission, or if we get permission from the landowner.
Oh, sorry, I did read that wrong. So option two is basically double of option one. So any other, do we have a seconder out there?
Just, Mayor Cernick.
Okay, sorry, Councillor Johnson.
Just like you mentioned, Mayor Cernick,
Mayor Cernick, that there is no sidewalks presently, other than the one that was mentioned going south to King Street from the cul-de-sac, on Pine at all. So we're going to be doing a chunk to the north probably after, you know, if this doesn't get approved tonight. But there should be another leg of sidewalk going in there, just so we have something for pedestrians to walk on, because there is really nothing there to go to Henry Street, I'm sorry. But even if we go halfway this year, because it's in the budget, right? I don't know how much we've spent of the budget on sidewalks already, but this one definitely has come to our attention, so.
Okay,
thank you.
Councilor Leeser.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think, too, as we look at the City of Estevan's new accessibility plan and the importance of curb ramps, this is a good project for us to undertake. There is quite a significant pedestrian traffic in that area, and I would be in favor of doing the complete renovation for $30,000.
Okay. Councilor Berube.
I will amend my motion to be option 2 so that we go all the way, because it is truthful. Like, you know, if we have somebody coming from the mall and they're coming down Pine, they stop right at the mailbox. Now they're putting on the street. So we might as well do it all the way to Pine. And I know it would be great to speak to the homeowner and find out what they think, but I think you're right. At the end of the day, it should go all the way to the Pine. So not sure if I had a seconder or, yeah.
I can change that.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, I'll change it. I'd like to see it completed, full stretch, first one.
Let's do her all. Councilor Elliott.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a quick question, Haley. Is there not a sidewalk on the east side, like on the other side?
There is not.
So there's nothing on either side?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Back when they built roads without sidewalks. Any other questions, comments out there? So we're amended. We're going all the way. All in favor? There you go, Haley. Thank you for coming in. What else we got? Corporate services. Oh, consent to acquire titles. What do we have? 3 titles there. Do we have a motion to accept these? Councilor Leeser, seconded by Councilor Mouse. Any questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. What do we got left here? Just giving notice. Energy City X, a little bit of appreciation there. That's what we always like to see. I do believe they got a little donation there to hold their Ag Days in the curling rink, so it's always nice to get some love back in that. So do we need a motion to accept love?
It's up to you.
Councilor Leeser.
I would like to make a motion that we also provide instruction to the Energy City X that any requests of this nature be brought at budget for deliberation.
Do we have a seconder for that? Councilor Berube, any more questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Up next is Old Bean Fate Rink Revival. So Mr. Dennis Gonis, we just wanted to put this out there for the old town of Bean Fate. Mr. Dennis Gonis dropped off a package. They're looking to revitalize the old Bean Fate Memorial Arena out there. So there's a pretty interesting package. You can donate any which way you want. They're pretty much selling everything, so this time we're just doing a little advertising for them. If you are interested in helping Bean Fade out, get a hold of Mr. Dennis Gonis, or probably just go to their town hall. They'll be able to help you out there. So we have a motion just to accept that, or do we need a motion for that?
It's your discretion.
Huh?
It's up to you.
It's up- We're good then. Councilor Mouse, Southeast Airshed Association. Anything you want to add to that report?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, it got a little longer than I thought it would. At the AGM there, and it ended up
200 pages.
60 pages. Sorry about that. I just wanted to mention that the Southeast Saskatchewan Air Hub, it sounds like it's a bouncy castle entrepreneur association, but it isn't. It's actually, CISA runs a series of 8 monitoring stations throughout Southeast Saskatchewan. They monitor air quality, generating stations, and in the oil fields. Membership is voluntary for any oil field company. For example, Westmoreland is in there, Sask Power is involved, Environment Sask is involved, and it's been going since 2005, and the official mandate is to collect credible, scientifically defensible air quality data and to make this data available to the public. The present director, Ken Cross, has been there for 30 years. And he hasn't been there for 30 years, excuse me. He has 30 years of public health experience and 10 years of air pointer technical support experience. For anyone that's interested in checking air quality data in Southeast Saskatchewan, you can go on their website, cisa.ca, and it's completely free of charge. You don't need any apps for your phone or anything like that. And if you feel like it, you can also, there's a contact for Ken Cross. He's very open to giving information about that. And yeah, that's sort of it. And the rest of it is my 60-page AGM report.
It's all good. There's definitely a lot of information.
No, I'll tell you. It was all the air pointer information from all of them, measuring stations in all of Southeast Saskatchewan for a year. And this is basically live. So that's an awful lot of information there.
Yeah, they're definitely not faking it. There's information there.
But like I say, it's open to everyone. The site is free of charge, no apps needed, or any information Ken Cross can give you if you like. Thank you.
And last on giving notice, Councillor Mouse just put a little report for FCM. I do believe Councillor Dubowski, Councillor Mouse, and Councillor Varoba attended FCM, so that's good. Anything you'd like to touch base on there quickly, or?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. No, Councillor Varoba last week mentioned quite a bit, and I just thought it would be good to also have a written report, and I support it. I think we should all support it. It's very interesting. That federal conference once a year is always very interesting, and there's an awful lot of very valuable data that we can and do use in Estevan, and have used, for example, for the downtown revitalization, for the Green Municipal Fund has helped us, et cetera, and it's definitely a thing that we should keep on the books for us.
FCM loves trees, and that's what we like to do.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, they've helped out in that department last couple of years for sure. Up next is inquiries. Councillor Varoba.
Thank you, Your Worship. I had a few people contact me about different issues, especially with back alleys in the rain, but just be patient. I keep every day when I'm driving down the streets, I notice more and more areas where the rain is doing damage to our infrastructure and our roads, so the crews are out there and they're trying to do what they can. But the other thing is, I'd also like to thank Gail Tislansvik for her dedication to the 4th Street Garden for all of the years. Gail was one of the original contributors to the garden. Anyone that's visited there in the previous years before this year, and I'm sure this year will still be just as good, or close. And this year there was some obstacles that the city is still trying to work through that prevented Gail from growing the plants that she loves so dearly and takes care of in the way that she would like. So with those new constraints, she was not able to continue growing that garden, but we just want to thank her for her dedication to the garden, to this community, and her continued dedication and volunteer efforts to the arts community and everything else that she does in this community. So thank you, Gail, and we do appreciate you.
Gail makes our city beautiful.
She does.
Councillor Mouse.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate what Councillor Varoba said about the garden. It's sad that it's not quite the way she wants it this year. It's been a great addition to downtown, and somehow we have to keep it going, I believe. And also, I think, congratulations to the ECS grads of 2026 from all of us.
Yeah, I think there's 165. Was that the number? Anyway, there was lots of them.
Yeah, I counted 180. Yeah, I might do it. I'm an off.
Councillor Elliott.
Oh, thank you, Your Worship. I guess wanted to get it out there. This year will be the first year in over 20. I guess there will not be a Canada Day celebration in the Kin/Hillside. Is it Hillside? Yeah, Hillside.
It's Hillside.
Yeah. In that park this year, the Kinnets were unsure about the state of the construction, so they're going to take this summer off, and so hopefully there'll be. Last summer there was one at the church on the corner of King and Kensington, so hopefully they'll be throwing something on again. And you've got Bean Fete to go to, so. But that's it. Just to let everybody know, if you're heading over to the Kin Park, you'll go hungry.
It'll be back better than ever in 2027. Excellent. Councillor Dubowski.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, just to, I guess, despite the weather we've been having recently, the constant rain, and I guess some people would call it depressing. I kind of like the rain, but it was a weekend with a lot of celebration, and I think that needs to be, just accepted, because there's Father's Day. Shout out to all the dads. Indigenous Peoples Day, and then of course the Pride Day events that we had, and that one was the most surprising to me. I did not expect there to be that much support there for that, and it was very not quite emotional for me, but it was just very heartwarming to see so many people from all different walks of life all there just to support each other, and then family, friends, people they don't even know, just to be accepting and loving. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the weekend of events, and it was a weekend full of love and support, and I hope everyone, whichever event you celebrated, had had a good weekend, and carries on.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it was definitely a weekend of love and support everywhere you went, for sure. Councillor Johnson.
Yes, Mayor Cernick, just a few mentions. I'd like to thank Art Basalt from Smile Services for hosting another successful Estevan City Parade for Estevan prior to the Estevan exhibition. I watched the parade, and I watched you in the big white Cadillac there throwing out candies.
Love that car.
That nice car. But it was very good. It was a very perfect weather for that day for a parade for Estevan, and so deserving. Also, the congratulations to the City of Estevan, all the city employees, and to Councillor Wallaleaser, and also the Councillor for Mayor for hosting once again, the Golden Garbage Can, which is very important for Estevan and Weyburn communities, both, for a lot of pride taken by residents for cleaning up their yards. I thank them also for all of the hard work that most property owners and companies took the time in order to pick up garbage and clean up those areas, ditches. Another one I see happening around the community, and there's a lot of potholes that we're patching. We're doing a heck of a good job out there. Most of them are being addressed, and there's still a few more that can be brought to our attention, but thank you very much. I'd like a report from the city manager on Nicholson Road, if he can give us a report, maybe not tonight as per se, but in talking with Matt and maybe the local contractors, just to see how that project's going along. I see they've got the pipe all strewn out along Nicholson Road all the way down, and it looks pretty tidy there. So I'm really impressed with the layout of the piping. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Councillor Wallaleaser.
Thank you, Your Worship. I also wanted to go into a little more detail about the incredible amount of community support that the Golden Garbage Can competition received this year. Perhaps to the point of some illegal activity. We had people calling in saying their neighbor went out and mowed the entire street to make sure it was ready. And I kindly reminded them that you cannot access private property without permission, but that we appreciated their enthusiasm. What we heard from the judges over and over again was, look at people's front yards, look at the landscaping. Can you believe how many new decks have gone up in Estevan? So it really was the residential streets this year that won the judges over. A lot of discussion about the quality of the roads between the two communities that
There was something wrong with the suspension in that vehicle in Weyburn.
I wanted to pay special mention to the Glen Peterson Industrial Park companies that took all of their staff out on the noon hour and picked garbage. The faith communities that encouraged their congregants to go out and clean our community. The United Way Day of Caring and all of the members that participated in that act of kindness within our community. The city staff and the residents. It was was incredibly close this year. Weyburn pulled out all of the stops, and it still wasn't enough to unseat us as the champions. And so sometimes there isn't a lot of pride in where you live, and the Golden Garbage Can competition is a real opportunity to remind yourself of all the good things we have in this community.
Yeah, after touring both places, we're definitely blessed to have these two cities in our little corner. So thanks to you and Councillor Sidlowski for taking that. Lots of us joined with you, but we just had to show up and didn't have to do anything. So that's good. It's the way we like to have it. So, City Manager?
Nothing to add, Your Worship.
City Clerk?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Nothing, yeah. A few things have been touched on already, but the last couple of weeks, Parade, Estevan Exhibition and Rodeo, the Golden Garbage Can, graduation. As you said, there was lots of love on Sunday, Father's Day, Pride Walk, and everything like that. So there's always something happening. But last but not least, I just want thoughts and prayers to the officers involved in the Melville incident last night. So we're thinking of them. So do we have a motion to move into close? Councillor Leeser, Councillor Veroba, all in favor? We're going into closed.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today